Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome. We are going a little bit early because court over there for Dylan finished early. So we're all ready to go and discuss the last 8 teams that we didn't get to last time. We're going to have another conversation and just kind of chill out and talk some football. So I'm just waiting for Dylan to finish up over there, and he'll be right over here. Just wanted to start it before so he can send people over. So, yeah. So we'll be talking about the playoff teams for sure this time. I think that it goes without saying that we can certainly assume that these teams will be in the playoff and contending for the Super Bowl. Again, we have 4 teams from the NFC, 4 teams from the AFC, and one of them will probably be the Super Bowl champion. So we're just going to chill out and wait for Dylan to show up. How is everybody? Dog Mama, hello. How you doing? Mm-hmm. Just a reminder tonight, Mighty Media news roundup for the week. We got some good stuff going on. So certainly some stuff I wanted to get to, but we'll wait. We'll wait because I have a good opportunity to talk about it tonight. So why don't we go over it right now, right? But Biden gets lost again. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, you're working all this week, aren't you? That sucks. And there's the man, the myth, the legend, my brother from another mother. Dylan, what's up, buddy?
Crap, hang on.
Oh, you're good. We're making it work.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, sorry, my headphones weren't on.
No,
I forget. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Good. Hey, mate. Honestly, I'm super pumped. I love this. I'm genuinely super pumped. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know, people say stuff like, "Oh, I enjoyed it," blah, blah. I genuinely did. Genuinely loved it. I love talking about this stuff. So I appreciate that you having me back, and I appreciate that we're covering even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, super pumped. And once I've got Dog Mama here, Dog Mama, I have sent you a Discord link as well for Saturday. I sent it to you on Discord just in case you haven't seen it. I wasn't sure, so just in case it is there for you, Dog Mama, as we do Matthew Moore. So whilst I saw the name, I thought I'd give her a shout out. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's been hanging out. I think she's about to leave to go to work, but she'll be here for a minute. Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, no, I had an absolute blast last time. I think you have some good insights for, a Welshman that doesn't, it's not in the States, so that's always cool. But, but yeah, I mean, so we went through the fringe teams or the fringe playoff teams or the teams that we thought needed something or could kind of sneak into the playoffs. I think it goes without saying this late into the season, the 8 we have left, there's a pretty good chance they're going to make a playoff run. Pretty good chance. So, and not all of them are division winners because the NFC South is garbage, but most of them have some kind of divisional standing. So, like the Dolphins or the Ravens or the Jags or the Chiefs, those are all division winners over there. I know we went through the Jags last time, but yeah, so there seems to be one bad division in football, and then the rest of them are probably division leaders. So
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
everybody, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I was just agreeing with you. But it seems to be the pattern every year. You
Hmm.
know, that I've seen it. So no, I totally agree with you. I can't wait for this next day because if you said to me the start of the season, I think some of these teams would have been here, but some of them I wouldn't have put them here. Do you know what I mean? So um, yeah, I'm super excited to go through them, especially one of the teams,
Yeah.
which is close to your heart.
There's Dave. He showed up. Go Pack,
Here
go
he is.
Lions, run the table. Go Seattle. Don't mind me. I'm an old Packer, backing redneck from Oregon. Um, the Lions are gonna run the table, but we can hope. And
Yeah,
Bo Nix. I want to do the draft special just to bash Dave's idea of Bo Nix.
yeah,
Like,
he is. I told you it's what do you say, Lambeau Field. He's genuine with that. He's genuine with that. He's not making it up. He's Lambeau Field. It's like I love him. I love him though. He's passionate.
it's,
He's passionate.
it's good marketing, but I mean, do you want
Yeah,
to do more than sell jerseys? I mean,
yeah. I know.
so
I know. I know.
yeah. But yeah, if why don't we get right into it? So one of the ones
Yeah.
that's not a division leader, number 8, Cleveland.
Mm,
Um, so I have a soft spot for the Cleveland Browns because
yeah.
much like my Lions, they suck year in and year out.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but they seem to have it together. They're second in their division, 9-5 behind Baltimore. They probably won't overtake Baltimore for the division, but they're pretty comfortably in a playoff spot. Um, I I think that they're one of so I think 4 of these teams have a great shot of winning the Super Bowl. I think a couple of them okay, and then I think 2 of them have no chance at all, and I think the Browns are one of those no chance at all.
Yeah.
Um, Watson is Deshaun Watson, and they have all the potential in the world. I mean, but they just never get it done. So
Mhm.
um, I don't know. What's your thought on the Browns?
So I'm similar to you. I used to have a soft spot for them. And when I first got introduced to the NFL and football, I think they were on Hard Knocks. And obviously
Mhm.
Baker Mayfield was drafted, stuff like that. So you got an insight into them. So I always liked them through that. Um, but then I'm not such a big fan. To be quite honest with you, I think the whole Deshaun Watson situation, if I'm being honest, put me off them a little bit. And the
Yeah,
way, not just to Sean, but I mean the way they handled it all and the way he walking about, and I mean that's a separate discussion. But I'm not going into that. But it's more of a, I don't know. It was, I seem to want to root against them now, where I've always wanted to root for them.
yeah.
Um, obviously when Hugh left. I forget his surname, but he left, and you had what's his name now that came in. Um, he was an interim head coach, and he got the job. Starts with an F. Freddie Kitchens. So
Oh,
when he was
Kitchens.
there,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
when he was there, I was like, what the hell are we doing here? This stuff. But I was rooting for the guy, obviously. But anyway, uh, the defense is like wow. They got a really good team. Overall, I'm not sure what they're doing. I liked your guy, not Donald, Peoples Jones. Um,
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
oh,
Yeah,
I was always joking that he's not your guy because he's obviously Michigan, but
yeah,
I was teasing. But I don't understand why they got rid of him. I thought he was good. Um, I've not been massively impressed with Elijah Moore, um, but maybe it's because of the quarterback situation. But I think there's a talented roster there. I don't think they're going to go very far because obviously they got Joe Flacco there, and I think he's not going to be able to take them all the way. But I think they're a solid team. I think that they've got a really bright future. I think that they got a really good head coach in Kevin Stefanski. And
Yeah.
how did Freddie Kitchens beat him out for the head coach in the first place? I have no idea. I do think, though, sometimes the worry for me with the Browns is, and for Stefanski, is that the ownership. I think, uh, we talk about David Tepper being one of the worst owners. I think the Browns as well have got one of the worst owners around. They meddle too much, or they used to meddle a lot anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much commitment's there, but I think they've got a very young, bright GM.
Mm.
They've hit on some draft on some players, also whiffed on some as well. So it'd be interesting. I think if they could have good draft this year, they could be contenders next year. But I feel like we say that for the last couple of years. We've said that now. When Deshaun Watson was there, instantly they were like Super Bowl contenders and this and that. And yeah, I don't see it. I don't see them there yet, but yeah, they're solid. They're solid. I don't think they're a wild team. I think just if they're a solid team
Hmm.
in moving forward, unless something happens. But yeah, that's where I'm at. But I do think their defense is incredible. That defense is wow. You know, Miles
Yeah.
Garrett, wow. Even though he's swinging at helmets everywhere, but
Right.
he's a great player. So yeah, got off tangent there a little bit. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're um, any chance. Well, if they make the playoffs, they've got no chance of winning it, in my opinion. So yeah,
Right. I really liked their draft 2 years ago. They picked up what's his name? I'm thinking of the linebacker. Long name. Jeremiah
yeah,
Owusu Karamoa.
great player.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah. They got Grant Delpit in the last couple of years at safety. They have, like you said, Garrett, Denzel Ward,
yeah,
talented defense, and then on offense, uh, I really like Pierre Strong Jr. out of South Dakota. Like I thought he was one of the better backs in the draft. Uh, they haven't used him much, but he looks okay.
yeah,
Um, and then you have a guy like David Bell. Like I was screaming at the rooftops for the Lions to draft David Bell, the big
yeah,
wide receiver out of Purdue.
yeah,
I thought he was going to be special too, and they just haven't used him. They targeted him 14 times this year, 86 yards and 1 touchdown. So um, there's a lot of these teams that don't effectively use their stars or their players. Um, well, Watson seems to be a bad guy, just an all-around bad guy. I mean,
yeah. I know.
he
Yeah.
kind of seems like he deserves it, but um, I know everybody has different opinions. So
I mean, I don't even go into that. You can have your opinion about him as a person. I just think it was a bad deal,
yeah,
and I just think I politically, I think it was just like they didn't need to do what they did, pay him all that money as 100% guarantee and stuff. It was just like you're just stupid for what you've just done. So even forget about his background. He could be the best player in the whole world. Paying someone 100% guarantee contract, fair play to him. Don't get me wrong, but he hadn't played for a while, so you just don't know what you're getting.
right.
Um, I just thought it was nuts what they did. But Browns have been the Browns, do you know what I mean? So, again, I think. But it's interesting to see David Bell and stuff. Like, I haven't watched that much of the Browns, but like Elijah Moore, for instance, have you seen him play? Because I just think that he went from New York and nothing much happened to it. He was a bit of a diva in New York, but I'm not sure how
Mhm.
he's done with the Browns. Is he settling in, or I don't hear much about him now?
He hasn't been terrible.
Okay,
His 52 receptions, 560 yards. Kind
okay,
of a he's a solid 3 when they really need a
yeah,
2. Because they have Cooper, obviously. He's your number 1.
yeah. Hi,
But
Digger.
you really don't have that 2 spot. So I think that's part of it. I also think the Browns they're one of those. I think it's probably the best place for Moore to go. He's one of those blue collar, hard
Yeah,
nose, blah blah blah. Um, kind of guys or kind of teams that humbles guys like that and brings them
yeah.
down a little bit.
But
And I
I,
think
I
that's
want
one
to,
of
I want to go to the Lions.
yeah, yeah.
sorry to interrupt, because what you just said there, blue
Mhm.
collar. I thought that the Lions should have gone for him when
Yeah,
when when he was up. I think that he was suited to the Lions for exactly the same reason you just said.
right,
Um,
right,
so
and
I agree with you there.
we'll get to them in a minute.
No, no, that's fine. That's fine. But because you said it like that, I was like, I remember when he was being traded or talked to me, I was like, I wonder if the Lions going to take him because cheap contract. He's a diva, well, not diva, but blue collar. He'd probably fit in with Campbell and everything. So I thought they might go for it. But then when he landed in Cleveland, I wasn't surprised either because of the background. But one more question about the Browns from me to you. I mean, look, you
Yeah.
got Nick Chubb and all that. He's out for the season, which is a big loss. But
Mhm.
there's another player here, right, that you probably know better than me on the old line, Jedrick Willis, because people were saying to me like he was a bust and stuff like that. But he had to change from being, I believe, a right tackle to a left tackle, which is obviously this people say that's near on impossible, it's super hard to do. But
Right.
lots of people have given up on him. But how is he doing? Because I've always got a soft spot for him for some reason. Because I watched him being drafted, he was in tears, his family all
Yeah.
around him. So I want him to succeed, but I don't really hear much about him now. How is he doing? Do you know, or not?
I
Maybe not.
so I think that well, he's on IR now, so he got hurt,
Oh,
and
there we
he's
are.
out for the season at this point. But I think he was serviceable. So the problem with Cleveland is, and it's the same problem we have here in Detroit with that blue collar. You have this nostalgia factor for people like Matthew Stafford or Calvin Johnson, or just to name a few. One of those things in Cleveland is you had Joe Thomas,
Yeah,
probably the best offensive lineman in the history of the game,
yeah.
and you had him at your left tackle spot for forever. And
Hmm.
so anybody's going to be a downgrade from Joe Thomas. Uh, so if he's not Joe Thomas and can't perform like him, then people are going to knock him. I think he's done an all right job. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. But Cleveland has injuries all over. Jack Conklin's injured, out for the year. Willis is out for the year. Deaton, their left guard's out for the year. Um, their backup right tackle's out for the year. Uh, their entire offensive line for this week is questionable. Like it's you know,
Yeah, wow.
uh, Watson's out, Chubb's out, Jakeem Grant's out, Michael Woods is out. Like there's so many injuries on that offense, uh, that it's hard to be consistent with anything, no matter who you are. I mean,
Yeah,
put Joe Thomas back in the lineup, and he's still not the the best thing that an offensive line can have is that cohesion. They all play as one. They all
yeah,
play together, and they're always the same. And
yeah, yeah.
if you're
Agree.
yeah, if you're switching people out week in and week out, then it's never going to be a success. Um, so
Which
I
makes it
think
all the
some
more impressive, though. Do you know what I mean? Of how they are, where they are right now.
right,
You know.
right.
So,
I mean, he's still young enough. He's having surgery on. Well, he had surgery last week, so he should be back for next year. He won't make the playoff, uh, even if they do. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he comes back to a decent season, and we'll see what happens. But
cool.
uh, speaking of the draft, he's that insert random Alabama offensive lineman here. He was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in
yeah,
yeah in
yeah,
2020.
yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
always
that,
one.
actually, that's true. That's true. That is
Yeah,
actually true. Yeah, to be
yeah.
fair.
So um, but yeah, I think just based on standings and the way that everything breaks down, I think that they have a pretty good chance. They're in the fifth spot right now. Um, they have a one-game lead with a bunch of teams behind them. A lot of injuries. I think it's a coin flip whether they make it in or not. So
Who they got left?
they have left. Oops. Oh, stop it. They have left Houston Texans, New York Jets, and Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, okay, that's 3 winnable games for them.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but again, all the injuries. You have Flacco
Yeah,
at quarterback.
yeah.
So
No, I agree. But I'm thinking, I think CJ Stroud's out. I think Joe Burrow's out. I think
yeah,
you got Zach Wilson. Who knows if he's in or out, wherever. So
right.
all 3 are winnable when you got backup quarterbacks basically across the board there. So in the same situation, defense, incredible defense. Okay, they got up against New York Jets, incredible defense as well. But I
Mhm,
think their offense with Joe Flacco was probably better than New York's offense with sliding whichever Trevor Simeon or whatever it is to start for them. And
mhm,
depends on who you got for Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas are no mugs, so they could slip up there. On Cincinnati Bengals, well, you just don't know. Do you know what I mean?
right.
And that's a coin flip, I think. So there's got a good chance to make it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're one of the more interesting schedules to
yeah,
take a look at. So
yeah.
take care,
See you,
dog
dog
mom.
mama. See
Have
you,
fun at work.
dog mama.
All right, now the dog mom is gone. We can talk about her guy without her getting all excited. So the Kansas City Chefs. Um,
Chefs. Chiefs, yeah. My first introduction to the Chiefs when they were singing the national anthem, and I just remember listening to the national anthem, and it was right at the end. Chiefs. I was like, what the fuck was that? And it's all their fans, obviously,
mhm,
land of the whatever it is, and that's my introduction to Kansas City Chiefs or whatever you call them.
yeah. Um, so I mean, obviously a good football team, obviously built correct.
Yeah,
Um, I think they paid Mahomes just a little bit too much money, but what were you gonna do? They were kind of backed into it. They didn't really have much of a choice.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. You have a star-studded team that's been underperforming all year. Do they get it right? Do they, what happens here for the Chiefs? I think they're one of those mid teams where could they make a run? Yeah, they have before. Um, and they can get hot at any point. Do I think they're a
Mhm.
serious threat or serious contender for Lombardi this year? No, I don't. I don't. I don't think so. There's other teams that I would pick over them. Um, so, but you have Mahomes, you have Pacheco, you have Travis Kelsey, you have, I mean, Edwards-Helaire, McKinnon, uh, Mecole Hardman. I I really think that my man from the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, getting rid of Tyreek Hill was a definite mistake
Mhm.
because he just rips the top off of defense. But um, could they? They'll, they're 9-5. They're 2 games up uh, on Denver, which looked pitiful on last Thursday night, Friday night.
Yeah,
Um, so reality is they're probably going to win the division. They're more than likely going to make the playoffs. It's just how far do they go? Like what's their matchup look like and where are they going to be?
yeah,
So,
yeah. I For me, this is one of the teams that you write them off at your own peril.
mhm,
Um, I think they are in a good position because no one thinks they're going to go far or win the Super Bowl this year, and they're a hungry dog. They, for the first time that I know of Kansas City Chiefs, they are not favourites in most games now. Going into the playoffs, people will be fancy their chances to beat them. I think in the
right.
playoffs, and they're no longer favourites. So I think that will give them a little bit of a spark. Um, so, do I think they're going to win Super Bowl? No, on paper I don't. And Dave says about the offensive lines. Yeah, I agree. It's not great,
Yeah.
but there's something about unity, bringing the team together, underestimating people. You underestimate Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, if you think Andy Reid sat at home eating a burger every night, he probably is. But he's also got that board out doing all these like fancy gadget stuff and stuff like that. You just can't. I just you can't. I don't think they're going to win it at all. But I don't think it's a dangerous thing if you ever just say I don't think they'll make it far. I think they could. It wouldn't surprise me if they made the Super Bowl, but I don't think they will. eh, If you know what I mean. So even though I'm saying, "Oh, don't underestimate them," but still I'm underestimate them because I don't think they're as talented as some of the other teams that are performing well. But it still wouldn't surprise me if they got quite far in that playoffs with the team they've got because I just don't
Right.
think you can underestimate Mahomes, what his creativity and Andy Reid, like so creative. But on paper, would I put him there? No, but I would not be surprised. I think they haven't got the best team at the minute. I think they've regressed. What you said about Tyreek Hill, I think they brought in, damn it, what's his name from Clemson, the fast guy, undrafted. Uh, he came in a couple of years ago. He was injured in his first year, but he's not really been performing this year. Um, and he was super fast. I think he came in to replace Tyreek Hill, but he's not
You're
been
talking about
performing at
Hardman?
all.
Not Miko
No,
Hardman, is it?
no. Let me. He was not the draft. Just be the draft before that. I'm not sure even if he's on injured reserve right now. Um, Wide receiver at Kansas City. Jeez, he went undrafted. He did. Justin Ross. Justin
Oh,
Ross.
okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, so he's electric. He's lightning. He obviously went undrafted because he was injured, but he's a hell of a player. I'm not sure if he's going to be a really good player or not because of his injuries. But I think that they looked at him as like an instant replacement for Tyreek Hill, but it's not worked out like that. I think that
Right.
they haven't got when they had Tyreek Hill and all that and those receivers. I think Patrick Mahomes had this trust blankets, obviously Kelsey and all that. I
Mm.
don't think he has that. He's got Kelsey, and I think he's going a lot to the tight ends at the minute, whereas he hasn't got that wide receiver where he's like comfortable with at the minute,
Mhm.
or it doesn't seem like that. But I know the last game they said that there was a couple of wide receivers he was now throwing to, um, and he seems to be more comfortable. And if he does get comfortable with a lot more players, then look out, they could really, go far. But it goes back to the offensive line again. Are they going to be strong enough to hold up? Again, I don't think they're going. I know I'm blabbing on here, but I I don't think they'll go to the Super Bowl, but I think they will do quite well. But then it wouldn't surprise me if they got blown out in the wild card either.
Right,
Do you know what I mean?
right.
So, do you know what I
Well,
mean? So, yeah,
it's kind of like the Tom Brady Patriots. Like, even if they didn't look good on paper, you never bet against Brady and the Patriots. Just don't do it.
no, no,
Um, so yeah, it will be interesting to see what kind of happens on that front.
yeah,
I never count them out, but I don't have high hopes for them this year.
no, yeah. I think we're in the same place today.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to the 10-4 teams, the Philadelphia Beagles.
Yeah.
Um, Fly Eagles fly. Uh, I like Philadelphia. I think they're yeah, and so Philadelphia's already clinched playoff spot. They're in. There's no
Yeah, good day.
um so they're in they're already clinched the playoff spot. They have Giants, Cardinals, Giants left. So I mean, they're probably gonna win out.
Yeah,
Could be flirting with the first or second seed, all that kind of thing. They look beatable, but they also look decent. I mean, they do everything pretty well. They can throw it, they can run it, they play good defense. Hurts is a question mark
mhm.
for me. He's a good quarterback. He came from a winning program. I get all that, but is I mean, what's his ceiling going to be? Can he lead a team to a Super Bowl like that uh, with this current roster? I mean, they wide receivers are fantastic with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Um, he has Goddard, who's getting up there. Uh, Another line reach running back in DeAndre Swift, who seems found a home in Philly. But yeah, I don't know. They seem like the most complete incomplete team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, what was it? 2 years ago they won the Super Bowl.
No, it would have been, was it 2017, isn't it? Oh, in the Super
That
Bowl, you
long?
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
They were in the Super Bowl last year, one day.
I think so. Yeah, last year, or the year before, I don't
Yeah, they
remember.
lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Um. So obviously they have the talent, they have the ability to get there. Um. They've been there. I think that's the most valuable thing you can have is if you've been there before. Um.
Mhm.
Because then you can certainly uh you have an edge if you've been there before. The newer teams don't seem to fare as well. But yeah, I could see the Eagles. Um, I think they're probably the number two team in the NFC, maybe three or four in the entire league.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, could they make a run at it? Yeah, I think so. Would I bet on them? Probably not. He's
Yeah,
looking a little beat up, not too sharp, not looking sharp. Yeah. Um, but they have a cakewalk to end the season. So
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
the
They're
Giants
gonna go.
twice and the Cards once.
Yeah,
So
they go. They're going 3-0 at the end of the season. But
yeah, yeah. So
I,
basically warm up games.
I love their head coach Nick Sirianni. Love him.
Yeah.
I love his temperament, the way he is. He is so passionate. It's unbelievable. But anyway, put him aside, I think he's great for them. I can imagine he's annoying as hell, but just to see him now and again is great. Um, Philly, the whole, we're together, we're all one. I think that for me, they've regressed since last year. I think personally, as a team, I don't think they click as well. But then, it only takes they're going to win the next three games. That's going to ignite them. That's all they need to kickstart. Maybe they've not looked good in the last few games.
Right.
Obviously, they now have your probably favorite person in the whole world, Matt Patricia, as the DC. Um, so
Patty Matty
they've
Patty.
got Manny Parry. So they got him there as DC. Um, so we'll see what he does with that defense. They've obviously used just named all the players. They got AJ Brown, all those players. Now I'm very careful about what I say here because I criticize. I don't like Hurts that much,
Okay.
right? I'm the same as you. I just don't. I just don't rate it. But every time he seems to say that he doesn't do well, like he seems to do well. Um, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't like him because he's obviously he does great in the community. There's lots of great stuff outside of football, but on football, I look at him. I'm just like I don't know. I feel sometimes that he's more of a running back than anything. I think
Yeah.
his passing has definitely improved. His best mate is AJ Brown, obviously.
Hmm.
Everyone says he's a leader of men. I've heard his speeches. He comes across very well, but I don't know what it is. I just don't rate him. I don't know why.
Right.
He, he's done nothing but prove everyone wrong all every time. But I just wouldn't want him as my quarterback. I just don't know why that is. I think maybe he's found his place with the Eagles, but I don't think his style suits every team. Now there's talks about this people disgruntled with him, and like these are just gossips. Obviously, there's probably no truth at all about the Eagles wanting to trade him and get someone else in. But I mean, the Eagles are the Eagles. The Eagles, if you lose one game, they want a new quarterback in. Do you know what I mean? You
Right.
could have won the
Right.
Super. Look at Doug Peterson. Look at Foles and all them. Do you know what I mean? they win Super Bowl, the next 2 seasons they're out. Do you know what I mean? So the fans are so fickle, it's unbelievable. So so he's not performing at the minute. I think the fans now want him out. But it's just so I don't know what will happen there. I do like one of the backup quarterbacks a lot actually. Oh, I've got to Google this. I don't remember his name now. Eagles.
Well, Jalen Hurts could be a running back because he just doesn't have that quarterback appearance or kind of
Yeah,
feel to him. But so DeAndre Swift leads the team with 896 yards rushing. Hurts has 542, which is more than the rest of the team combined running the football outside of DeAndre Swift. So you take Swift
yeah,
out of it, and Hurts has more than the rest of the team combined running the football.
yeah.
Another Winston, Dylan's right. He's a running back with an average arm. Yeah. Um, and yeah, they don't have patience in Philly. I think that you can get a lesser quarterback that fits your system that can
Yeah.
do things to cover up a lot. And I think that's exactly what he does. So
And yeah, and sorry, I found the quarterback I was talking about. Sorry, amazing disgrace. Hello, from my friend, Tanner McGee.
hey, what's up, buddy?
Ta-
Oh,
so,
Stanford?
yeah, I
Yeah.
like him.
Okay.
I think he's not a chance yet, and he wasn't. I don't think he was like outstanding with Stanford at all. But he's like 6'4", 6'5". His mechanics, his throw mechanics are fantastic. He's got good eye for detail. I don't sure what he's like as a runner, but I think Stady Pocket kind of traditional quarterback. I like him. Again, I have no idea if he's going to succeed or not, but I'd love to see him have an opportunity with him. I was quite surprised they actually drafted him because I thought,
Yeah.
they build a game around Hurts. They want more running quarterbacks, but
Hmm.
they must have seen something in him to think, why do they select him? Because he's totally the opposite of Hurts. So
Right.
I don't know. Um, about that, but I do like him. I'd love to see him. He's one of those players. I've no idea if he'll make it. He probably won't, but I'd love for him to have an opportunity because I think he's got all the right mechanics. I think he could be an exceptional quarterback somewhere. But it's the same with everywhere. You just need an opportunity. I
Right.
hope he does get an opportunity. Um, but yeah, for me, I think that for me, the Eagles are frauds. I love Jason Kelsey, love him.
Yeah.
I love the O line, Lane and stuff like that. I do like the O line, London Dickerson and stuff like love them. But for some reason they piss me off. I just don't. I don't know. They just wind me up a little bit.
Right.
So I don't. I think they think they're better than what they are. Um, I think that they will possibly win the next three and get cocky and think they, made it again. Um, I think most teams will beat them. I think in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
No, I can definitely see that. I don't think that's too far out to think that's exactly what's going to happen. Um, and they do have a young core that is pretty impressive, though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the only thing. That's their only saving grace is they do have a very young core that is going to continue to win football games. But I
yeah.
don't think that this year's their year. So
No. Well, sorry, you haven't touched upon one of the wide receivers. We said, or did you? AJ Brown, and what's
yeah,
number six called? What's his name called again?
Devontae Smith.
Oh, yeah, he.
Yeah.
I like him. A lot of
Oh, I
people
love
down
that
on
guy.
him. I like him. He's gritty. He's like he's one of those guys that I would love to see somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's gritty as hell. So the basis of the team, but I think it all comes back to Hurst again. But you watch him now; he'll have an outstanding few games and playoffs and stuff. But I just don't think he's good enough to take them there. If you have a proper quarterback in there, I think overall they've got an excellent roster. I don't think they've got the best roster, but I think there's another team that's got a better roster. But when you go through the whole team, oh my god, they've got I mean, yeah, they've got it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they
Yeah.
got Georgia Bulldogs in their defense. So it's basically everyone from Georgia. But yeah, they've got it. I just don't think Hurst is the guy. And obviously, people will rewind this, Mike, to you, me, going, look at these two idiots talking. They don't know anything about NFL. Hurst wins the Super Bowl and, all this, whilst we sit here going, oh, yeah, okay.
Well, that's
You know,
generally how
but
it happens. So I'm
yes,
not mad
yes.
about
No,
it.
no, fuck it.
Yeah. So it's always how it happens. They look like hell and then go on this incredible run. But I mean, that's why we play the games. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I, yeah, I'm not overly excited about what they're doing this year. I think that
no,
there are better teams on this list that will go much further. So
yeah,
one of
agreed.
those teams that's obviously going to hoist the Lombardi is the next one.
Yeah,
No notes. Oh,
no
look at
notes
that!
needed. No
Look
notes needed.
at that!
Look at that's a pretty logo, though, isn't it? That's a pretty logo. Hey, do you want me to go?
Honolulu.
Do you want me to go first this time?
Yeah, you go first.
Because you've got all the background knowledge, I'll give you what I got. Um, because I got no notes anyway. I love the way you've done all this, by the way. The playoffs. I didn't know how you were doing it, so I
Huh?
have not got any notes for anything. So it's all sorry. Apologies to anyone who's watching. Going, why don't you know about Devontae or what their names are? What I do is just have to remember. I should have written them all
We get
down.
there.
Yeah, but next time we do this, I'll have actual notes. So I think so. This is one of my teams that I look to adopt as my team.
Mhm.
Um, but and that was a couple of years ago. But then they started bloody winning. I was like, I love the underdogs, so that peed me off a little bit. I think this team has impressed me probably more than I'd go as far as probably more than any other team. And I'm not talking about this season now. I'm talking about the transformation that's happened in the last three odd years.
Yeah,
Um, it's always been the same old Lions, same old Lions. So I watch a lot of Pat McAfee, and obviously one of his key workers there is a massive Lions fan. So it's
okay.
always the same old Lions. They all rib him every week, and I still love it. But that's endearing to me then to the Lions. Um, Obviously Sheila I think it's Hempford. Um,
Yeah,
she took over, and everyone was like, "What the hell?" I think she's done a great job. I'd be honest with you, when they first hired Dan Campbell, I I I heard that they hired him. Brad, what's his name? What is his name?
Brett
Um,
Holmes.
Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. And I was like, who the hell is Brad Holmes and bloody Dan Campbell? I mean, you had all these big names out there. I was like, same old Lions. Had all these people they could have hired, same old Lions. They've done it again. They messed it up. And when Brad Holmes came out, I thought, you know what, he spoke well. He spoke well and stuff. I thought, okay, fine, good pedigree, sounds all right. And he's got links to the Lions. Then Dan Campbell came out, and I'm just like, jeez, Louise, biting kneecaps and all this. I'm like, I love the guy, but I was like, this guy's he's nuts.
Right.
Um, but kind of just, he's probably for me the best appointment you could have ever made. And I remember watching. I know we'll talk about this season at the minute. I'm going back a bit, but I remember when they were talking about alpha. Who's the alpha? Who has the last decision? And Dan Campbell kept saying, "Well, you know, the alpha in the room, our two alphas in the room. They'll come to a decision." They both have worked super well together. I think. Um,
Yeah.
when I watch the documentaries, the respect they have for each other, they discuss the picks, they discuss everything. I've seen Brad Holmes on the sidelines celebrating wins with the players and stuff. So I think they're doing super well. I think you can see the foundation he was laying. I think you can see that over the past couple of years, and to see the difference between Patricia to now is like night and day. It's like what's this team about? It's got to the point where I feel Lions fans will walk out of the stadium unless they win a game now. Where
Yeah.
before they, do you know what I mean? If you lose a game, they're booing you. Do you know what I mean? So, um, and that's the whole change. So this season, I was super impressed with the running back room. Um, that running back room, they have held their own. They have done fantastic work. Gibbs, when he, I think for me personally, he was drafted too high. Um, I wasn't sure about it, but they said they want to utilize him not just as running back, but also as a pass receiver and stuff like that. I was like, okay, we'll see. Um, he's still got a long way to go, but I think he's proven he's special. You know, and Montgomery and everything. I think they've got a special room there. Um, I think that as a whole, the O line, I think they got pieces they need in the defense moving forward in the draft and stuff. But I think overall they're doing well. I think this team is one of those teams that, if you look on paper, especially if you don't know much about, if you only know the big names, if you look at the wide receiver group, Armand St. Brown and all this, you'd be like, who? What? He's a third round pick, whatever. It doesn't look
Mhm.
impressive. But when you see them on the field, oh my God. Amon St. Brown, was he third or fourth round pick? Wherever he was,
Yeah,
every other team are kicking themselves right now. He is
right.
an absolute dog. He
Yeah.
is fantastic. And I think the wide receivers around him are doing well. I think they got now Donovan People Jones in there as well. I like him as a player. I think he's a good 3 or 4 wide
Mhm.
receiver. So I think you need probably one more good wide receiver. But I think you got your number one in Amon St. Brown. He's just everywhere. He's exceptional, I think. I will say, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Um, I think they can shock people. I think they'll do well in the playoffs. But if I'm being completely honest, and I think we've got similar views here, but we maybe not. I don't think the Lions are ever going to win a Super Bowl whilst they've got Jared Goff as quarterback. I do not, and for the I can't fathom why they have not drafted a quarterback. To the extent where it winds me up a little bit. I understand Aiden Hutchinson. There was no other quarterback they could have got. So that was a great pick for them. They've had so many picks that I'm just like, surely there was a quarterback out there that you could have gone for. You could have really just okay. Penny Sewell, excellent player,
Mhm.
fantastic. But again, in that draft, was there a quarterback? I don't think there was. Probably for them at the spot where they were, but for me, I just do not trust. What do you call him? Goff. Now, obviously, last time I said that, he went out through 5 fucking touchdowns, but but I don't think he's reliable. I think that's more down to the other players around him than anything else, and that's hard to say with a guy because I do like him as a person.
Mhm.
It just annoys me. I think the Lions have got a really good side. I think they need a couple more key pieces, but for me, they 100% need a quarterback. Otherwise, as annoying as it is, I don't think they'll ever win Super Bowl with him. I think they'll always be that playoff contenders, but nothing more. They just need that piece, in my opinion, or just move on the running game. Just make it a running game, rather than
Right.
passing it. I just do not trust him, and I think that's a waste then of talent of wide receivers you got around you. Um,
Yeah.
uh, and he has impressed in some games, he has, but whenever he's impressed, he's had crap games as well. And the only other one thing I'll say about the Lions, away from Lions, I wish sometimes, I wish just 10%, right? Wish 10%. Dan Campbell wouldn't go for that fourth down. Um, he's like, 10-yard line. He's like, no, I'm going for it. Sometimes just chill out. You don't have to go for it every single time. Don't turn into Staley. I love his aggressiveness, but I think sometimes that could really bite him in the ass. So I'd love to see him tone it down just slightly until they get a better quarterback. But overall, I think the development of this team, fantastic. I'm just worried where's he going to go next because if you don't get another quarterback, I'm not sure how far you're going to go. And I think the potential is there, but it's just I don't want to waste people's talents. You got a talented team, man. I don't want their time to go because they're all on rookie contracts at the minute. Once they need to
Right.
get paid, Aaron St. Brown Hutchinson, all these players, they're going to have to get paid. And by then it might be too late because you're going to have to pay Goff as well. So I don't know. That's my theory, and I know you've got a lot to say on it. So that's where I'm at. I'm not sure if you agree with anything I say or if you disagree totally with what I say, but yeah, it's a good side though overall.
Surprisingly, most of it. One, I think that we've made the right moves. Two, they're the Lions, so that automatically whatever we think is going to happen, they're going to fuck it up somehow. Like it's just gonna. It's. I mean, they. I. I liked, and I didn't at the time. Like I was. My first thought was, "What the hell are you guys doing, taking Jahmyr Gibbs at
Yeah.
in the first round?" Um, when I wasn't seeing him gone until the third or fourth. But I think that once you get everything, kind of equals itself out. And like you said, St. Brown. I think St. Brown's from Detroit. Um, so I think that like he was born here. So I think that makes a difference. Um, because he knows the history and he just goes to work and he fights for this team and it's so cool to see. Um, but I think that eventually, yeah, there has to be a different quarterback. Jared Goff is not good. He's not good. Um,
Mhm.
he's he's mm, he's not the worst quarterback that you could have in the league. But if the Lions are going to have this much talent around and do all these things that we know that they're capable of, then eventually, eventually it has to be to the point where you're like, okay, well, we need somebody else. Um, I haven't had a problem with the picks so far, uh, basically just because of the fact of we had so many holes and so much things that needed to get fixed. So why not address some of them and fix some of the deficiencies that we had, way before wasting another quarterback because we've done quite a bit of that,
Mhm.
wasting quarterbacks. So I'm kind of happy that they did it the way that they did. Uh, but yeah, I think that we have some serious issues on defense. I like the wide receiver room. I really do. Our running back room, but we're gonna need somebody to backfill the spot that's left by David Montgomery because he's not going to be as effective forever. Um, so I think it's like any other team where you're going to have 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years where you can be competitive without having to blow it up and start over. And I think we're in that competitive stage. I like what Campbell's doing. Will he be able to? Uh, will he be able to carry it over into another team? Uh, another rebuild, that kind of thing. It remains to be seen. But I like what he's doing so far. Um, I I would like to see the Detroit Lions win a playoff game. They've won one game in the Super Bowl era. So since 1957, they've won one playoff game, and that was in 1991 with the one, the only, the great Barry Sanders. Um, so we're not talking about where they've won a ton of games and we're like any other any other team. We're talking about how we just want one. We just want one win. Just
Yeah.
one. That's it.
Yeah.
Just give us one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I think that having a home playoff game makes a huge difference, and it'll be the first time that we've had one since '93. Because we should win the division. We have two against the Vikings, home and away, and then we have the Cowboys right in the middle. Um, but I think our ceiling is winning that first game, maybe an NFC Championship appearance, but nowhere near the Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
we're not gonna win we're not going to win the Super Bowl. I know that for sure, and we're not going to be there. Um, so we'll see, and it's up to. I think they have a great team. I think our defense is still has a long way to go, and I think we need a quarterback. So
I like what you're saying. I just wanted to correct you though, because we got Dave here. You say home advantage makes a difference. Not for Green Bay. They every year they get home advantage and they lose the
right,
playoff games. I think of that one in. Sorry, I think of that one in. I agree with everything you just said. For me, it's a pity though. I think the team is too talented to just win one game. I think it's there not to win the Super Bowl, but I think you can win a couple. If because the Lions, they could win a couple of games in this playoff. Um, if they're up for it, because Dan Campbell can get these guys up for anything. I think
yeah,
I think it depends on who you get to play. I think that has a lot to say in it. I think they're going to have to concentrate on the draft this year on the defense. They have to. Um,
yeah,
they just need some more key pieces, as you say. But then they've got to have a better plan for QB because
yeah,
you hit the nail on the head. Dan Campbell's got these guys purring at the minute. They're roaring.
hmm
But there's only a time limit to it because if there's no success and you've got to rebuild it, as you say, because people you can't afford the contracts and all that, are
right,
people going to buy in a second time? Where it's like, well, we've done this once, we still haven't gone, much further. So, what are you doing about it? Because players also know that. I'm sure people like Jared Goff, right? But players also know that they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. So
right,
unless they're going to be running the ball a hell of a lot more, and as I said, I was with you. I've not on paper. I think they've done everything right. Draft picks. So when I said earlier on, could they have looked at the quarterbacks? I don't think they could have in their positions. They
yeah,
had to take Hutchinson. There was no other quarterback. They had to take him. And
yeah,
what a pick that was. Penicil, they had to take him because there was no other quarterback. They had Trevor Lawrence, but he was already gone. And then were you going to go for Mac Jones? Or something? No, you're going to go for Penicil, which we
right,
needed. So they've got to concentrate the defense, but they've got to have a plan for the QB, man. They've got to. Yeah, you're just a few pieces away, I think. And
yeah,
I'm listening to you speak, and you say we just want one win. Man, that's depressing to hear you say that because I think you've got a team here. I genuinely think you've got. I understand why one win will make a difference to you guys, but I think in a couple of years you could be really competing for the Super Bowl if they make the right moves. And I've got every confidence in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell actually to do it, but I'm not sure how much they love Jared Goff and how much they paid him already and how stuck they are with him. I don't understand the cap stuff that well, so I don't know how invested they are in him or not, to be quite honest, Steve. So, but if you're gonna pay everybody, then you're gonna have to draft somebody, whether that's the second or third round in this year or next year, because that's when say Brown, Hutchinson would want to get paid. So and Penny
right,
Sewell would want to get paid. So even if you have somebody draft somebody to sit behind Goff for a year, because I think that would be a good idea to sit someone behind Goff. I think they could learn, but it's going to have to be the right quarterback. So they're going to
right.
have to select them somewhere. So you can't wait for the first round to do it. That's why I'm interested to hear what you're going to say about the other quarterbacks this year. But they're going to have to hit somewhere. Like essentially, they have to do we won't Brock Purdy style thing, but we'll get into that later. But they're going to have to hit somewhere. So
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, I think, but it's so foreign to even say the Lions will win one
I
playoff game
know.
because
I know.
I mean, it's just it was three the last time it happened. So three.
Man, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you. Genuinely rooting for
32
you. I just want to
years
see it.
of
Uh,
watching them lose year in, year out. Right. And
I only thing, right? I don't know if I could do this, right? I don't
mhm.
know if I could do the Lions v Rams. I don't know if I could do it because I don't know if I could take the heartache for you, man. Just in case, like I don't know. I'll be messaging you. Mighty, what's going on? We won't hear from you for days, you know. So I'm not sure I could even watch that game because I'd have you in mind all game. So in some ways, I hope you don't have the Rams. I hope you have another team you're playing against. But no, man, I'm rooting for you so hard because I really want the Lions to do well. And now speaking to you, you just want to win. One
Yeah,
win.
yeah.
Just
We're
give
not
it.
even sure that we're
Give
gonna
it a
make the
win.
playoffs. Like, this has happened
Yeah,
before. This has happened where we're in the driver's seat and we have 2 games
yeah,
left, and as long as we win out, we're fine. Or, and the weirdest shit that could ever possibly happen, and we're sitting at home and didn't make the playoffs. Like, this has
yeah,
happened before, so
yeah,
we never count on anything. So
yeah. If you don't make the playoffs, then it's Goff. I can't imagine who else would be at fault.
yeah,
You can't not make the playoffs. I think I say try being a Vancouver Cancun fan. I have no idea. That's ice hockey, is it?
Canucks.
I have no
Yeah,
idea who the hell that is, but I'm
Vancouver
pulling for you as
Canucks.
well, then, Digger.
Oh, they suck again this year,
Oh,
but
next year, next year, next year.
yeah. So,
uh,
uh, yeah, I think they're on the outside. So next we go into the Miami Dolphins. Um, this is a team that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, kind of came out of nowhere. Uh, I don't know. There's a lot of talent. Tyreek Hill's there. I think he's a difference maker. Tua's Tua. I don't know if I trust him, but I mean they're putting up huge numbers all year. Um, number one in the league passing yards, number one points for, fourth in rushing. Uh, I mean, they could be a favorite for me. I don't know yet, but I, yeah, I'm gonna fuck it. I'll go on the record. The Miami Dolphins make the Super Bowl of the AFC. Like, I don't think there's anybody else. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what path they got um, to get through.
yeah,
Because I'm still new on this AFC and stuff like that, so I can't picture it at the minute. Um,
gotcha.
who else is in the AFC, as in potentially with them?
So the AFC is so
So
the
I could.
AFC playoff picture right now, as of today, is Baltimore Ravens, Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs, Jacksonville Jaguars, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, and Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, okay, I see you. Yeah, okay, we've not covered the other team yet, but I get why you say they're the favourites. I do get that. I think it's between them and Baltimore. Miami is such a man. So Miami, one of the coolest head coaches in the world, Michael Daniels. He, anyone that does not like him, I don't know how you don't like the guy. I mean, he's weird as hell. He's one of those guys that could come into our chat here and just be like, yeah, all right, how you doing? Yeah, let's talk ball. You know,
Yeah.
he's cool. Do you know what I mean? So I like him. I don't trust Tua. Uh, I think when he gave Tua enough time, he's great.
Hmm.
And I think he's lucky that Tyreek Hill makes him look good. I think
Yeah.
obviously Waddle as well. I mean, you go
Right.
Waddle and Tyreek Hill, Jesus, but he can just throw it in the air, and people will be like, "Yeah, let's go."
Hmm.
So he knows that he can just chuck it, and one of those two could be in the area. That's quite rare because of especially um, Tyreek Hill with his speed and stuff. You know,
Right.
obviously they've got a good O line, good, very good defense.
Hmm.
Again, none of it makes sense. I like Christian Wilkins, I like him, but then I just don't know. I mean, how they got all these players, I don't quite understand it.
Right.
I don't. It seems someone said that I'm not sure how true this is or whether it's still true, but Miami Dolphins lost anyone that was plus 500. They lost to anyone under 500. They beat thrashed. So
Huh,
I'm not sure if that's still true or not. I just think that it wouldn't surprise me if we went to the Super Bowl, but I've not got these guys in the Super Bowl. Um,
okay.
but I can see your logic, and I understand if they were there, I could understand why. But I think there's another team that I got that will make the Super Bowl ahead of these guys.
They lost to the Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, and Titans this year.
Okay, so there's well, I mean that's not a bad teams to lose to. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, fine. Okay,
They got
that will
trounced by
make
the
that.
Bills and Eagles, but it was touchdown against the Chiefs, and it was 1 point loss to the Titans. So
Fine, fine. They're contenders. They're good. They're
yeah,
contenders. Fine.
yep. They have Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills, so probably the most ridiculous schedule left.
Wow,
Yeah, that's a rough one. It's gonna be tough.
that I think that's going to say a lot about them as a team.
Yeah,
I
yep.
think. Wow, that's. Can you pick three? Well, you probably could, but that's that's a tough stretch.
I
Okay,
wouldn't want to play any of those at the end.
no,
So
no, no. How many home games have they got?
they have two of them. So they play Cowboys and Bills at home, and the Ravens in Baltimore.
Okay, so that's big. They're not playing the Bills away. That's huge for
Yeah,
them. So yeah,
Baltimore's just as bad weather-wise though right now.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I was just thinking that they've got two away in the sense of Baltimore and Bills.
oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what I meant. But because that would be a hell for them, you know. So it's not too bad having just one compared to
Yeah,
the two. Jesus,
yep. So yeah, they're who I'm gonna pick.
fit.
I think 1, 2 is likely. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Um. All right. So these are two of my least favorite teams coming up. Like right there in the bottom. Hate the Cowboys. Absolutely hate the Cowgirls. I mean Cowboys. Hate Dallas. Hate them. Um. God, I.
You lucky Bexy Texas, don't you?
Hate's a strong word. I hate Dallas.
Yeah, fair, fair.
um. Dallas is terrible. They. Uh. I can't. I even said something good about the pack, and I can't say anything nice about Dallas. It's just I think Dak is terrible. I really do.
Yeah,
I think they overpaid uh considerably. Uh God, they suck. They're a bad team. Horrible. Great analysis. Your turn.
no, I mean, yeah, fine, okay. So
I
for
really hate
me,
Dallas.
no, that's fine. I mean, you did me dirty as well, by the way. You put me in a Dallas shirt on the thumbnail. I
I
mean,
know I
I
did.
wore that to piss people off, and all of a sudden, I got Dak Prescott. I'm like, oh, I've not even worn it since then. Um, so no, everyone seems to hate Dallas. Like, so for me, I I think Dak Prescott. I don't again don't, but I don't rate him. I don't like him. He's obviously a great leader because everyone loves him. I don't think he's very talented. I do think he's a quarterback in the league, but
Yeah.
he's not like for me. He's not the top 15. But it annoys me because he seems to go out there and say to everyone, two fingers up and go, and he just seems to do it in some situations. But in the key situations, he just doesn't do it. He lets everyone down. I went in last week, I think a week before, going, Jesus, Dallas are purring. Um, Dallas are going here, so they're going to do well. Mika Parsons, what a player. They got great O line, good defense. With Mika Parsons as the team, you know you're doing well. CeeDee Lamb, I was like, they're going well. Then obviously the Bills played the Bills, and they got absolutely trounced by the Bills. So I was like, well, this team sucks. So from going from, I thought this team's a contender, to thinking, how do they get trounced so much? So they got, well, now I know they've got to play Miami and stuff now. They got a tough schedule left, and they they shouldn't be where they are. They should be further ahead. I think they got some quality players. It's just I don't like Dak. Um, yeah, I don't know. I obviously don't hate Dak. I don't have a history with him or anything like that. But I was so disappointed to see them against Buffalo Bills. I do not think that they're good enough to win the Super Bowl. I do think they're good enough to be in the playoffs. I think they're good enough to win possibly one game. Uh, I think it'll be one game at most. They will win this playoffs. I don't think they're good enough to go any further than that if they do get that far. And which is a shame, really, because not shame, but they have got again. This is another team. I think if you got a better quarterback in there, then I think Pollard as well. I think he's done well in the running back room. I think the running back room is okay. I think it's actually quite good. Wide receiver set, I think again they're quite good. I think they rely too much on CeeDee Lamb sometimes, but overall, I think they're doing all right. Defense, I say Micah Parsons. I mean, there's not many players that are better than Micah Parsons, so I think they're going to waste his talent if they don't
Yeah.
get better. And I think that Dak sucks. They need to get. I know he's serviceable. He's good. He's good, but he's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Right.
And I don't think that running back room is good enough to win a Super Bowl on its own. So, and because of that, I think they make the playoffs probably, but they don't win more than one game. I would not surprise me if they lose the first game in the wild card.
Yeah. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals 28-16 in week 3.
Yeah,
So
here we are.
yeah. Then like you said, lost to the Bills. They got trounced by the Niners 42-10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fuck Dallas. I hate the Cowboys.
Not fair. Fair.
Fly Eagles fly. So they did have a lot of bandwagon fans too. Yeah, they bother me. Moving on. Baltimore. I like Baltimore. Not I don't love Baltimore, but I like
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Um, this is a team that has everything to lose. They're a team that looks impressive in the regular season and cannot win a playoff game or make a deep run in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson gets happy feet. I think he's a good quarterback when they're not playing a game that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, Lamar's just not your guy. And they've lost a lot of what makes Baltimore Baltimore. But they have been impressive. I mean, what was it, 8-9 weeks ago? They trounced the Lions 38-6. So I saw them up close and personal, but that was one of those. No matter what the Lions did, they weren't going to win that game. Like everything that the Ravens did was correct, and it showed. But yeah, old school football team. They can run the football. They play great defense. I don't know, man. I think that they have a chance. I just worry about Lamar when it comes down to it. I think if you're giving me Lamar or Tua, I'm gonna roll the dice on Tua rather than the Lamar that I know is gonna screw something up. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought.
I mean, obviously, I've got this team to go make the Super Bowl, and I feel sick saying that. I don't think they're that great, but I think that says a lot more about state of the AFC than anything else.
Yeah.
This is why I say I don't think you're far off by saying the Miami Dolphins will make the Super Bowl. I can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something with this team that I think if you got those tight, gritty games, especially if they end up playing, I don't know who they're going to end up playing into the playoffs. But if it's a tight game, I think they can sneak through. Um, I don't know why. I just think like when you got Mark Andrews, obviously Odell and everything, but defense
Mhm.
is good. The old line is starting to get moving together, doing well. Um, I think that at the start of the season, Lamar was more of a pocket passer to prove a point. But
Mhm.
whenever he picks up, he's starting to pick up a little bit now with his legs sometimes. So he needs to get that balance a lot better. He needs to. I don't rate Lamar. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
We seem to be saying this about a lot of people,
yeah,
but he, about a lot of quarterbacks. And so I do think that they can have a run at it. But at the same time, it would shock me if they just lost the first wildcard game. But
yeah,
prediction wise, I think they're a tough team. I think the defense could carry them if needed. I think when there's a close game, I think Lamar could work some magic and pull it out of the bag when he did. Also, they got the kicker, Justin Tucker. Is it Justin Tucker?
yeah. The ass who
He,
hit a 66-yarder to knock
against the
Detroit out of the
Lions
playoffs last time.
last year. That was sick. That was sick how that happened. Especially, that we won't go there. That was sick. Um, he's got a leg, so they know that they can, they don't. So for me, it's important you've got a good kicker. Some people don't think it matters. I think it matters because if you got 40 or 30 seconds left in throwing it down, if you know you're a kicker that can kick it from like 65, 66 range,
Mhm.
that's huge. That's a lot
Right.
less yardage you need to get down down the field. Obviously, he's not slammed down to get it, but that gives you a bit more confidence. And in a close game, I put money on Baltimore over most of the teams. I think in the playoffs, that is. Um, I think there's better, closer teams that they could play, but I don't think they make the playoffs like the Browns and stuff like that. But I think
Right.
they'll make the playoffs, and I think that they will sneak in and probably make it to the Super Bowl or close to it, in my opinion. But I also can see at the other side of Miami Dolphins as well. So I'm just trying to think of it about close games. Depends where they play. If they go home game advantage, which maybe they will get, then I don't think Baltimore's going to be a nice place for people to go and play. That's all.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, it's going to be January in Baltimore. It's going to be the weather's not going to be an enjoyable time. So,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I think they have a shot. Uh, so that brings us to our last team,
Bang, bang,
San Francisco. San Francesco.
bang, bang. Yeah,
This is another team that makes zero sense to me. Uh,
yeah,
you went through the Garoppolo drama. You went through this, that, the other, and then we're gonna, you know, Brock Purdy is gonna start for us, and
yeah,
I I don't know. He's looked good. He's looked good, but again, you're counting on somebody who is more of a game manager that doesn't have talent to carry you when it's needed, and that's always concerning. It's
mhm,
who's going to carry us when we need it, and obviously they have McCaffrey. Obviously they have Ayuk, a whole Debo Samuel. I mean, they have the wide receivers. George Kittle's a safety valve. McLeod. They have the best fullback in football. Ronnie Bell, Jordan May. I mean, like up and down, they have talent and people that can bail them out. I
yeah,
just, I just don't know that I trust them enough to be too high on them. Second in passing, third in rushing, third in points for, and second in total defense in the entire NFL. So they're up at the top. They're number one seed in the NFC right now. I mean,
mhm,
they just they don't feel right.
yeah,
Um, they also haven't lost a game in the last six. Um, so they lost three in a row to the Browns, Vikings, Bengals, and then haven't lost again since. Uh, Ravens, Commanders, and Rams are the teams they have left. So that matchup against Baltimore will be an interesting one. That one's this week. Oh shit, that one's on Christmas Day. Wow.
Okay.
So I mean, you have that one, and then they probably win the last two against the Commanders and the Rams. So it will be interesting to see kind of what happens. They I don't know. They seem like they're legit. They beat the Eagles 42-19. They beat the Cowboys 42-10. I everything points to legit. I just don't. I'm not not a huge fan. So
That's fair.
I don't know.
So from my before we go into it, we've got Erin Ho in the chat as well. Not this guest
Oh,
again. Hey, Erin. Nice to see you, Erin. See,
think so?
Ram's going to beat them. Okay, so as I sit here right now, I think you were just talking about the Super Bowl champions. As I
Mhm.
sit here right now, now we're talking about another 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that could
Right.
change. We know how fickle it is. I think the only team for me right now that could beat the San Francisco 49ers is themselves. I think if Kyle Shanahan overthinks it and starts to try and because I think he tries to tinker too much. I think he tries to do way too much. I think he thinks he's Sean McVay / Andy Reid. He's a great head coach. He's a great offensive-minded, coach. Just do what works for you, man.
Right.
Get Purdy. He's a technician. Like in some ways, Brady was a technician. He had his
Mhm.
safety valves. He's got his safety valves. So he was. We just mentioned. See you later, Erin. Um,
Hi, Aaron.
so he's got his safety valves. He was get the running game purring, get CMC going. Get. I I think that if the passing game's not working, they've got a hell of a running game.
Right.
That they get Ayuk and everyone, Debo Samuels, everyone involved in. But I just generally think of the defense. Let's not talk about defense. Look at that defense, man. You know,
Mhm.
um, I think the only people that beat the 49ers are the 49ers right now. Now, do I think they could lose along with yes. I think there's teams there. Someone said, was it David that said the Rams are going to beat them? Quite possibly, because I
Yeah.
think that Kyle Shanahan sometimes overthinks things, and sometimes in my mind, he doesn't look at the team. He looks at he looks at Sean McVay. He goes, "Well, Sean McVay will probably do this." Forget
Mhm.
about what Sean McVay was going to do. Just you do you, man. Just do
Right.
your game plan. I think that they'll do well. Um, I think that if they lost the game in the next 3 games, I think that's a good thing because they'll shake. I think losing a game is always good because it'll
Yeah.
shake you into things, because if you lose in the playoffs, you're out. If you lose
Mhm.
one in regular season, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Hello, Shenny. So
Okay.
I think that it'll be a San Francisco v Baltimore final as it currently sits right now with San Francisco winning. But like Mike, we know, as we just said, this changes every week. We could sit down next week and it might even be different again. Do you know what I mean? And I genuinely think you can't really say. I think we can say who we think will be in the Super Bowl, but we're not going to really say until we see the path. Once we
Right.
know what the rankings are, then you can start going, oh, okay, San Francisco against X team and stuff like that. And that's where I think it comes into it. But off the cuff, I think these guys will win this I think they're in the front position, which they are.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
think they've got the talent. If they don't win it this year, man, I can understand why they didn't beat Kansas City a couple of years ago. Because of Garoppolo and everything. I know he's similar to Purdy, but I think Purdy's got a little bit more of aggressiveness in him than what Garoppolo does.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that if they don't win the Super Bowl, Jesus, they're going to have to look at themselves because they wasted all those picks on Trey Lance.
Mhm.
And I don't think they should be let go of that either. I'd love to know who actually wanted that, Trey Lance, um, because that didn't work out, did it? So
Right.
yeah, they're lucky. They're lucky how they ended up with Brock Purdy. But he needs to stay healthy because then they got Sam Darnold, so another technician, but I'm not sure he's as good as Purdy. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
nobody wants Darnold. Darnold's garbage. So
yeah, you don't want him at all. I feel sorry for him because what happened with the Jets, like he went into a dumpster fire. He never had a chance
right.
in New York. I always think I want every quarterback, well, most quarterbacks to have the opportunity. As soon as you go to New York, you're done for. You forget about it. Pack your bags. You're gonna be out of the league in about 4 years. So enjoy your contract. Don't spend it. Invest it well because you're not getting much more money out of that. So
Right. It's
yeah,
gonna be your one and only. So
yeah.
enjoy it while it's there. But
Like Zach now, they say he's gonna be traded, but to where? Do you know what I mean? I
where
don't.
who wants to
You
deal
know.
with that?
Yeah. We'll see. But that's another stream anyway. But yeah, as it stands, mate, that's where I go. But as I say, in 2, 3 weeks' time, we could completely have a different final two. But as
Yeah.
of this week, right now, I think they're the winners, and I think deservedly so right now. But NFL, same as any other sport, it only
Yep.
takes one game. It only takes one movement, one catch, one something, and you know that. Whether the Rams against New Orleans that year, when there's a push off, and whatever happened happened.
Yep.
There's always one small thing that changes the game. So no one is guaranteed to win anything. But I think
Well, that's what makes it fun. So
it makes it fantastic, unless you're on the other side with a
right.
66-yarder from Baltimore or something. Then it's not fun at all. So yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at anyway, mate.
All right. Yeah. I have Eagles and Dolphins is my picks for the Super Bowl as of right now.
Yeah, that's doable. You can see that happening as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You could definitely see it happening. That's the fun
And
of
the
all this,
Lions
I think.
winning one playoff game. That's all I want. Just one.
That's all you
Just
want.
one.
I can't wait to see who they're playing. I mean, I generally want to see the brackets when we know where everyone sits. That's when
Right.
it gets exciting, I think. And that's where you can start to. I'd love to see how you react to the bracket when it comes out. See who the Lions are playing. Because will you be like, I can
Well,
see
right
a path
now,
to the Super Bowl?
right now it will be Minnesota so far.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
so if season ends today, it would be Minnesota. So
You want that? I'd want that for you.
I want the Rams just because I want to beat Stafford
I I
in
can't.
Detroit.
I
In
can't watch
Detroit,
it. I
I
couldn't
just
watch
want.
it.
I just want to see him get just trounced in Detroit. Like, I think that would be poetic
Oh
justice, my
man,
friend.
I just don't. I couldn't watch it. I just don't. I'm not sure I could watch it with you, as in the sense of I I, I don't want to see depressed Mighty Meat. Do you know what I mean? So just in case. But yeah, no, it would be good though. Would be good.
But
I'm excited to see where all they all land up anyway. So
yeah, yeah, we only got a couple weeks left, so it will
yeah,
get interesting here. So, uh,
yeah.
but yeah, uh, well, cool, dude. I appreciate you again hanging out with me and talking some football. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
now I got to get some food and eat before my normal show, and I'm sure you want to stop streaming since you've been streaming all damn day.
All damn day, yes. And again tomorrow, all 12 hours I think tomorrow. So
Oh
uh,
shit!
it's 2 days of Kyle Rittenhouse tomorrow. So we'll see
Oh
um,
wow!
how that
So
goes. But
you're starting Kyle tomorrow, and then uh,
got
that third
two
after that
Kyles tomorrow. I got Matt on Matt Moore obviously on
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday I'm off. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I'm doing Jolly Depp in the morning. Me and Dr. Hines 9 o'clock Eastern until whatever it is, and then 3 o'clock I think Eastern. Then doing the Rittenhouse then those days. Saturday I'm doing full day Saturday and Sunday for Rittenhouse then just to finish it off. Essentially,
Wow.
take a Monday off and straight back into Krieg then on the Tuesday. So yeah,
Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. Honestly, I was only gonna do maybe a couple of streams, but I said I'd do one, and someone came into the stream and said, "Thank you for streaming." I was like, "Well, it's okay, I don't mind." And they said, "Oh, thank you for streaming because I've got no one to spend Christmas with, so I'll spend it with you."
Oh.
I was like, "Well, fuck. Okay, well, now I feel bad." So yeah, so that's why I put all the streams together. Some people are lonely, so I don't mind. I've got time to do it. So hopefully, Mike Dimitri, hopefully you can pop in at some point, Dog Mom as well. If they've got
Mhm.
5, 10 minutes here and there, just you're more than welcome to pop in anytime. You'd never expect to stay for the whole stream, but it's always nice to see you just pop in if you've got half hour to give your opinions or whatever. So yeah, we'll see. Thanks for having me, mate. I cannot wait to do the next one of these, and I can't wait to get into. I can't wait for the season to finish. In some ways, into playoffs, and then I can start doing the mock, look at the draft and stuff as well. Because
Yeah.
that's exciting. At the minute, I'm not sure who's who, but I want to delve into that as well. So I can't wait to start doing some more streams of this with you, dude. Hopefully, if you have me and stuff. So yeah, I love it. I generally do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, for
thanks for
sure.
having me. And
Yeah.
thanks to the chat as well. Merry Christmas to you all in chat. You're all friendly. I see Shani and everyone Digger. They keep dropping in and say into my chats and say hello. So I do appreciate that. And if you guys are free over Christmas, make sure you pop in and say hello as well. And if you're lonely, we're there for you as well at our channel. So I'll say hopefully you see Mikey a little bit as well. But I know you're busy with the children as well, mate. So
Yeah.
I'll see you Saturday anyway. But
Yeah.
I wish you all a Merry Christmas as well. So and all a good night, as they say. So um, but best of luck for you. As I say, it's got midnight here, so I'm gonna shoot off to bed in a second. So thanks for having me, mate. And I literally, genuinely, and I mean this genuinely, cannot wait to stream with you again about football. I could do it every single day with you, mate. So appreciate you.
For sure, man.
Cool.
Well, you
No
have a
worries.
good night and Merry Christmas, but I'll see you on Saturday for sure. So,
Thanks, mate. I'll see you Saturday. Take care,
all right.
everybody. Take care. Ta-ra. Ta-ra.
Take care, buddy. All right. And just like that, like I said, I'm putting together the media roundup for the news tonight. We got some more stuff that caught on fire, more stuff that exploded, and a bunch of other things. So join us in about an hour. We'll see you in a little bit. Until then, take care, y'all. Bye bye. If I can find it. Shit. There it is. Bye bye.